If understanding that the 3D world that we live in is illusory, it's a three-dimensional, illusional world. The makeup of everything around us is made from geometry, light, sound, light, and then physical. This is important to say. So everything around you is vibrating energy. Everything around you is vibrating energy. This is not solid. Nothing is solid. It is manifested through, as I said, geometry, light, sound, and then there. Because it's like an analogy would be, we are in a matrix system, which is like a virtual reality computer game, where it's a master-slave reality. So the masters would be those 0.01%. They have kept the secrets and the cheats for themselves, and they have left the slaves with amnesia and with no understanding of what's going on. In the 1950s, there was a search for. So there was an influx of incarnations of higher vibrational beings coming down to this planet to try and change what's been going on here, because it has been essentially a prison planet for 50,000 years, really. And so there was an influx in the 1950s and the 1970s of higher vibrational beings. Now they know, controlling consciousness that is in charge at this moment of this planet is and are aware of every incarnate being that comes into this planet. Through sexual union between a male and a female, energy is then sent up and vibrates up through frequencies. They have technology to be able to see where, and then a soul is then attracted to a lifetime, and then the soul will then, this is just one way, a soul will then come to the womb of the mother, and they can track this from happening. The controlling power that has at this time power over this planet is aware that there are very, very, very powerful beings. I don't know what you would want to call them, demigods, gods, whatever you want to call them. That there was an influx of them coming. So they didn't know where and when they were going to be here, but they needed to find a way of tracking them. Okay, so Project Oak Tree was because this reptilian vampiric consciousness that has control of this planet is basically a fear-based. They are a fear-based consciousness. If they weren't a fear-based consciousness, they wouldn't need to control everything. If you're in fear, you have to control everything around you. If you are centered and balanced in yourself, you don't need to control things around you. This is the Anunnaki who put this project together. So what they did to make things even more complex and even more difficult for human beings is 99% of human beings only have 2-strand DNA when we're supposed to have 12-strand or 22-strand DNA. 99% of us have 2-strand DNA. The 2-strand DNA that we have is reptilian and mammalian. Now, the reptile and the mammal don't go together, don't fit together. They are they are diametrically opposed on every level. Okay, so depending on the individual themselves, some people have a higher reptilian DNA and some people have a higher mammalian DNA. The mammalian DNA is nurturing, compassionate, understanding. It takes care of its young, it feeds its young, and the reptile the reptile leaves its young to fend for itself, and the ones that die are considered weak, and the ones that survive are considered strong, because they believe in the basis of the reptilian being is raw survival. I'm not sure how much anybody understands about the moon, or if they know that it's an unnatural satellite, that it's not a moon like in the same way other planets have moons. It was placed there, and it is a soul harvesting unit. It's used to at the point of death. So they say walk to the light. If I was you, I would take the other direction. But so then when you go there, there is a highly advanced technology there, which then harvests the energy from the soul and the trauma and the sadness of the death of a loved one. It then takes that, wipes the memory from the person, and then at the point that it's necessary, recycles the body or the soul back into another body on Earth again. So it's a continual loop. That's what the Ouroboros is. That's the snake swallowing its own tail. It's an infinite. So essentially, human beings on this planet have got caught in a time loop, and there is once again an opening to leave. We had the sun would be Christ consciousness, Baal would be Luciferian consciousness. So they're using numerology to reverse around, open these gates for 3 days to try and let Baal, this energy Baal, which is essentially Luciferian energy, in to continue the agenda. So, a little secret here. So you have the two lines that came out of the Garden of Eden. You have the Cain line and the Abel line. Cain and Abel line. What we've been taught, once again they did a reversal, because this is what they do. Once again they did a reversal. They told us that Cain was the bad and that Abel was the good. Okay? But Abel is an anagram. And if you just switch the letters around from Abel, you'll get Baal. If you want to take over a planet, okay, if you want to completely take over a planet, the first thing that you have to do is you have to take out the alpha males or the strong males from the planet, because the strong alpha males protect the divine feminine. There has been a concerted effort, which is now increasing and increasing and increasing, to emasculate the strong men on the planet. A prime example would be Jenner. What's his first name? The athlete Jenner. Bruce Jenner. They wanted to, in your face, show you how they could take an Olympic athlete and turn him into a woman, so that they could show you, look how powerful we are. And you can see through television and films how they are feminizing men more and more and more. You'll see men dressed up in female clothes, or men dressed up in dresses, or in perhaps in sitcoms or in television TV shows. You'll see the male more and more emasculated, and the female being the dominant, playing the dominant role. This is not to empower the female in any way. This is a trick to make it look like that it's empowering the female, when in fact it is taking away the protection from the female. The feminism movement that happened in the 60s was to destroy the family unit from the inside out. I'm not saying this in any way that a woman shouldn't be independent and do whatever. I'm saying there is an agenda behind what is going on. If you effeminize the alpha males on the planet, the divine feminine won't have protection, and because the planet itself is female, and the female, the divine females are a reflection of the planet. If they are not protected by the alpha males on the planet, then the war is over, and then they win. There's multiple chemicals being placed in water, in food, in deodorants, because especially deodorants